For this example, say we are asked to use our calculator to graph f of x is equal to 5x to the third minus 85x squared plus 110x plus 600. The first thing that we want to do is consider the basic shape of our graph. For this example, we have a cubic. Our highest power is 3 with a positive leading coefficient, which means the graph falls to the left and rises to the right. So we end up with a basic shape that looks kind of like an S, like this. The next thing that we want to do is think about any points that we know on the graph. The easiest point to see for this one is that if we plug in x as 0, we'll end up with a vertical intercept of 600. So the point that we know is our vertical intercept, 0, 600. Last, we want to think about our domain. We don't have x in the denominator, we don't have any radicals, so our domain for this one is all real numbers. When we initially choose our window, we are making an educated guess. We're choosing a window that will show us something. So for x, maybe we start with just a standard -10 to 10. For the y, remember that we want to be able to see this point 0, 600. So for the y, maybe we go a little bigger and go -1,000 to 1,000. Once we've established all of this information about our graph, now is when we go to our calculator. We're going to go to y equals and plug in the equation for our function. So 5x raised to the third minus 85x squared plus 110 times x plus 600. We're going to go to our window. We'll leave the x to be -10 to 10. We'll change the y to be -1,000 to 1,000. And the y scale is how often we want to see a little tick mark. So we'll change that to maybe 100 so it doesn't try to show so many tick marks. And we're going to press graph. And notice that we get something that looks a lot like a parabola. So we know that this graph is not a parabola, so we're going to think back to our basic shape that we have over here. So we're missing this little part right here. So that means that I need to go more to the right. So I'm going to change my x window, and maybe we'll go from -10 up to 20. So back to the calculator. We'll change the window and make x go out to 20. And now we get something that looks like a cubic, but we're still missing that minimum. So we need to make the y value lower. So maybe we change our minimum y value to -2,000 now. So we'll go back to the calculator and change the window and make the y minimum -2,000. Graph it. So we get a very nice graph of our function f of x.